Hey guys, we are back. We are moving into some statistical information that they want us to be able to understand. Now, obviously, this is kind of a multiple choice question on the exam, which we'll wait and see if we're going to have exams. I don't know if they're going to try to do that online or how they're going to do that, but there's basically different study methods. Like again, if you're collecting data, which again, guys, a lot of jobs no matter what kind of job you're in, you'll collect data, you'll do different studies to see, if things are profitable for a company, okay? And there's kind of three main study methods, okay? And a lot of these are pretty logical, okay? So the first one, observational study. Okay, now that's where you just watch something that's happening but you don't actually influence it. Okay. So, like a lot of observational studies might be like watching the growth of children in United States compared to China, and you're just observing them. You're not doing anything to really affect their growth. You're just seeing, okay, how are kids in the United States growing compared to kids in China growing, and then maybe you can make some decisions or observations and say, whatever, maybe, United States kids are growing better with better health care, or maybe they're not growing as well because we eat more junk food. I don't know. There's different observational things you can do and draw conclusions. But so an observational study, you're not really affecting anything. You're just watching, observing, observational, observing. You can kind of see that word in there. Okay, now the second one, this is probably the one you are used to in your science classes. Okay, where you actually do something. You have two groups. Okay, one group they usually call it like uh, just the observational group. You don't do the controlled group. That's what it was. I got the wrong word. So a control group, which you don't do anything to them, and then the other group, you do something to them and see the effects of that experiment on them. So you have two different groups, and you try to see what happens when something is done to the one group compared to the other group that doesn't do anything. Okay, and the last one, this one's again, I don't think any of this is probably that out of the ordinary because you're used to it. A survey is where you randomly, you don't want to, you can't ask every single person in Akron what they think about something, but you can take a survey of random people in a random place and get a good idea of maybe what people believe in the city of Akron. Okay? That's what a survey is, where you do a random check, asking them questions, surveying them on what they believe, okay? You can do this at Bookdo. You could do this at Bookdo if you wanted to. Okay, now what's nice, guys, I'm just going to do one here, and we're just going to match, and that's what your assignment's going to be, just matching, okay? And I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to change the questions, and that's what you're going to have for your homework, okay? But let's go ahead and do this one together. Okay, so we're going to try to match, okay? So the first is you have two groups of 10 people that are separated. One group eats ice cream before bed. Ooh, that sounds good to me. The other group doesn't eat ice cream, and we try to test their sleeping patterns. We try to check how well did they sleep, okay? So if right before you go to bed you eat ice cream, the other group didn't eat ice cream, and we're going to check on how well did they sleep. Okay, which one would that go with? Okay, we're just going to kind of draw a line. That is the controlled experiment. Again, you're having two different groups. You're controlling what's happening. You're doing something. You're having them eat ice cream. Okay, you're controlling what they're doing and experimenting on what's happening. And then you have a group that doesn't do anything. That's called the control group. Okay, let me turn this a little more so you can see me. But okay, next. Okay, student council asks every 10th person at lunch how they like the food. Okay, so Student council, maybe they have a clipboard and they're in there asking every 10th person that walks into the cafeteria, they're going to say, okay, do you like the food, or rate the food 1 to 5, 1 is bad, 5 is good, something like that. Okay, that would be a survey. Okay, that would be the example of a survey. Okay, and then the last one, you can kind of tell it's going to be observational study, but students in a science class record the height of a bean plant each week. So again, some of you guys probably are doing this, have done this in science class, where you plant, beans, seeds, and you just record their growth over the whole 9 weeks, and you're just doing some type of a study and maybe just seeing how they're growing. Okay, so that is an observational study. Okay, you're just recording the height of the bean plants. Okay, now guys, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to change these little stories, and then that's actually going to be your homework, where you're going to put these in order or connect them with each one. Okay, so I'm going to pause here and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now, this is going to be a little interesting. So, let me make this fit. Okay. So what we have here, guys, is, again, the same type of story here. Okay, we've got observational study, controlled experiment, okay, from just that last video. Okay, and then here's my new stories right here, okay? So I'll try to, you can kind of pause it and read those. And you know what? Let me. I know this is okay. We're going to say this one's number 1. Okay, this one's number 2. Okay, and this one's number 3. Okay, and you can kind of match this to the different words. Okay, so you could, like on in the journal for your answer. So number 1, you can put, which of these is number 1, then number 2, and then number 3. Okay, so that's how you can do your homework there. Okay, so again, I know you might need to pause this so you can read those. Okay, so again, just put the answers on which one you see matching. Okay, thanks, guys.